Yes, yes, yes. Woohoo. Yes, exactly. Excellent. So let's get started. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming on this call. I really appreciate you taking this time out. And so this call is all about sharing with you the attraction marketing bot. This is ready to go live. Literally on this call, you'll be able to go live with this bot and you'll be up and running with it literally from this point forward. So literally, we're all ready to go, which is amazing. And it was originally my plan to get this live literally like the 1st of January, but there's so much going on in Botsii at the minute. You've probably seen with just some of the updates that I put into the Facebook group over the weekend, where we've just got new companies coming all the time. We've got people bringing bots to the table with new languages. Things are happening faster, where we've had a bot that was literally set up in 24 hours for a brand new company from a complete standing start. So there's so much going on. Basically, it's just meant that it's pushed back things another week to where we are now to get the Botsii bot or the attraction marketing bot live. So, but literally, for those of you that, like I said, who bought the deal before the 7th of January, we extended it by one extra week, then you'll actually get this completely for free as part of buying the Botsii bot. If there's anybody on this call or watching the replay, there is a deal that I will share on this call where if you haven't got the Botsy bot yet, or you haven't got it where you got it for free, there's a deal that you can get where you can get this at a big discount as well. So you won't miss out on taking advantage of this. So let me share my screen. And as normal, if there's questions, put them into the chat as we're going along. If I see the question and it fits nicely with kind of my flow, then I will answer them as I go along. If not, I'll come to questions at the end and go through them all at the end to make sure that I've answered all those questions that you raised. But just use the chat for that. That will be absolutely great. So let me share my screen and I'm going to take you into the content. I've got a little bit of content to start things off, and then I'm literally going to take you into the bot live and show it to you, and then you'll then have the chance to actually activate or subscribe to the attraction marketing bot, during the call and before we finish the call. So we're kind of doing it in three sections really. A few slides I want to share with you just to give you an overview of what the bot is like. Then I'll go and do an actual live demo of it, and then you can actually activate or subscribe to it whilst we're on the call. Now, the really good thing here is, for those of you that are less technically minded, you only actually need to set this up once or subscribe to this bot once. So literally you can do that today on the call. All you'll need is the email address you used when you made your purchase, and everything else is literally just pressing a few buttons. So literally you do that one time and you're up and running. So literally it's very, very straightforward to do. So let me, I'm just going to turn my video off and share my screen and take you into what I want to share with you today. So let me know if you can see my screen okay. That should be up on the screen now. Let me just get the chat and everything else visible because that all disappears. Thank you very much. I see some yeses coming in there. Let me just organize my screen so I can see everything. Excellent. Okay, thank you, Tatiana. Let's get the participants in case there's other people coming into the call late. Excellent. Right, 1 second. Okay. So this is just the first part out of three. I'm just going to take you through a few slides to give you some context here. So if you've been on any of my earlier calls, you've watched any of the replays, you've seen the reference to GoPro the Botsy way, where I'm sharing with you the 7 steps to becoming a network marketing professional that Eric Worre shares, and I'm kind of overlaying that with how Botsy helps you automate those 7 steps. But I want to come back to this first principles that Eric says. If you want to be successful in network marketing, you must learn the skills necessary to be professional. And Botsii helps shortcut those steps because we're automating many of those 7 steps. And To give you some context around this, these are the 7 steps. If you're already using our Botsii bot, you'll know that that's really automating everything from step 3 onwards, helping present your product, helping you follow up, helping people sign up automatically into your business, helping people get started. They can literally just buy the bot and do exactly what you've done, and also promoting events and things. So, what we're covering off on this call here today is these 2 steps because I found over the last 5 years, we've literally had thousands and thousands of users come through Botsy. And what I found was through our product, which generally covered steps 3 to 6 or 3 to 7, um, there was always I found a missing piece of the jigsaw puzzle. I found that 2 people could have exactly the same bot with promoting exactly the same company, and one person would become successful and the other person was not. And it kind of bugged me. Well, what was the difference? Why was one person successful using the bot and another person not? And it literally came down to these 2 steps. For the first 2 steps, finding prospects and inviting prospects to find out more. So this is what, if you like, prompted the development of the attraction marketing bot in order to give you the tools that would make it easy to increase engagement and to increase your network. And then secondly, to make it easy for people to want to find out more, easy for you to invite people to want to take a look at your business. And so that's where we share, for example, content online, and people either message you or they comment below to ask for info. And the attraction marketing bot will help you with both of these 2 things. And I've had variants of this on live over the last couple of years. I've had one that's been quite general, and I have another one that's very, very specific to companies. And what I've done is I've brought the learning of that all together into one product. And you'll see in a minute just how comprehensive this is and how powerful this can be when you're using it. So I'm going to start very quickly. I want to ask a question actually before I get into all of this. I want to ask you guys a question. Here's the question, and please put an answer in the chat. So I want to score yourself out of 10, asking you the question: to what extent are you taking advantage of social media today? Obviously, in the context of promoting your network marketing business. So 0 is not at all. You're doing nothing online really. And 10 is you're taking every opportunity to take advantage of social media. So give me a score between 1 and 10. Be honest, because if you're a 10, you should be everywhere on every and creating insane amounts of engagement online. Let's have a look at the replies coming back. So we've got 1, 10, 10, 3, 5, 10, 7, 6, 3, 2, 6, 5, 4. There's a fair range there, right? 2, absolutely. So nobody said 0, which is probably a good thing. But at the end of the day, there's a good spread there. That's cool. Well, whatever number you're on, when you come out of this call, my goal is for you to be able to see that you can increase that number, no matter what number you're on. That you'll see it will be easy for you to do more, and actually probably with less effort. Now, I want to go actually because AI is a big part of this. So I actually want to go to ChatGPT and just give me a yes in the chat if you're using ChatGPT today. Just put a yes in the chat just to give me an idea as to who's actually using ChatGPT and maybe who's not. Wow, loads of yeses, which is great, right? I mean, it's a free tool. Out of interest, just put the word pro if you're actually got a paid version of ChatGPT. Just put the word pro in if you've got a paid version. You're paying like the monthly subscription. So look, there's a few people that are saying that they are, but actually look there. If you said yes that you're using ChatGPT and you're not paying for the pro version or the paid version, it's where you're paying about $24 a month in that I think so it's that sort of money as part of a monthly subscription. So I would say less than half of you there are actually on a pro or paid account. Obviously, there's other kind of AI chat GPT type products out there, but that's the main one. So here's a question I'm just going to ask. I'm just on the free one here for a second, just because it's easy for now. I've got a paid account, and the great thing, by the way, about a paid account is you can run projects, so you can be a lot more structured with what you do, and you can actually you get much better responses back as well. But I was going to ask a very simple question here, which I want to kind of share with you, which kind of sets the scene a little, really. So I'm literally going to ask the question, what are the top three reasons why people are not successful when marketing on social media? So I'll ask this question. I'm not 100% sure exactly what I'll come back with, but let's have a look. I've got a pretty good idea. Here we are. So why am I asking this question? I'm asking this question because I really want to zone in on some of the problems that and challenges people have around social media, about using social media. Okay, so we've got three reasons: lack of strategy and clear goals, inconsistent or poor quality content, and failure to engage and build relationships. And so let's just go and have a quick look at what it says about this. So many people dive into social media marketing without a well-defined strategy, without a clear understanding of what they want to achieve, e.g., brand awareness, lead generation, sales, and their efforts become scattered and ineffective. A strategic approach is essential for knowing which platforms to use, what content to post, and how to measure success. So that I will show you on the rest of this call how the attraction marketing bot can help with that. It will absolutely help with increasing your brand awareness, where people understand more about what you're about. It will absolutely help with you posting consistently, where you're not scattered in your approach. You've got a very strategic approach to doing it. Why? Because the bot will be sharing with you content that is very strategic in its output. It knows you're a network marketer. It will know what kind of products you're promoting, and it will basically have a very clear strategy. Second one here: inconsistent or poor quality content. So consistency is a really important part of social media, and being consistent with posting and also consistent with your approach. So it says here, posting sporadically and producing content that lacks value. So that's probably the main one I find. People don't post consistently enough. And so with the traction marketing bot, you're going to get a daily message through every single morning that will give you content that you can share online very easily, and content that you can repurpose and use, and even plug into things like ChatGPT as well. So it can act as the seed for further, if you like, customization, if you like, that you can apply. But actually, you don't need ChatGPT or AI to add to it, but you can, certainly. And it's going to produce the kind of content that will resonate with your audience, because the content that we create here and we pull together here has been proven to work and to get increased engagement, increased results, and ultimately that a bigger audience, which is what you want. So yeah, I mean, look, the solution here is delivering high quality, valuable content that aligns with your audience interest. This is very much about, in terms of what's in the attraction marketing bot, it's very much about quality over quantity. I've seen some AI tools out there that just spew out, frankly, garbage, because it's just, the access to information these days is such that, people can literally spew out garbage. Whereas our focus here is actually on producing high quality content that engages with your audience and builds your audience and makes it very easy for you to be consistent. Because literally, you're going to get a daily post through. This is the sort of thing you can do whilst you're waiting for the kettle to boil, whilst you've got 5 minutes in between things during the day, whilst you're waiting for a bus, waiting for a train, or just waiting to pick up your kids from school, all those kind of things. We want to make it super easy so you can just post content without having to think about it, and ideally all from your phone. You don't have to log into a computer to access this content. Literally, it will come through into your inbox every single morning. And then the third thing, and people kind of forget, it's called social media for a reason, that you need to engage. It's two-way communication. So, you can post something, somebody might come back with negative content or comments on your post. They might troll you. Doesn't actually matter because that's going to help boost the algorithm and it allows for you to have a two-way conversation with people, and that will ultimately get you more eyeballs and more likely to attract more people to really understand what you are about. If you've got people that even are trolling you, doesn't matter. There are people often that won't post online for fear of, you know, the negative comments, the haters. But actually, if you're not getting haters, you're probably not doing certain things you could be doing to attract the right kind of attention as well. So I'm going to show you here exactly how the attraction marketing bot and Botsii will help with all three of these. So let's carry on through, and I just want to give you a couple of examples here of posts. So a number of you might have seen posts like this over the last week, where people have perhaps asked, "I'm curious to know what company you're with, just a name, just a company name, no links, and thank you." So here you can see a post where it's had a fair amount of engagement, right? Which is obviously what was the desired effect. And I'm showing you this because, like I said at the beginning, um, I have seen people before now post content and they don't always get engagement, and sometimes they get lots of engagement. So equally, I saw this post, virtually the same post, which had hardly any engagement at all. And so what I want to do here is just highlight that even if you put exactly the same content out there through the attraction marketing bot, some people will get more engagement than others because of whoever is already in their network. So, for example, some people use Facebook, just take Facebook as an example, where they literally use it as a business tool, and therefore their friends, in inverted commas, are very often networkers, network marketers, people looking for opportunities, all that kind of stuff. So, if that is the audience, you might be getting this kind of engagement. But if your Facebook right now is just with a few friends and they're like maybe family and friends and they're not necessarily business opportunity seekers, they're not necessarily network marketers, then you may get a lot less engagement on exactly the same post. So this is where, coming back to right from the point at the beginning around, this is an opportunity to learn new things. If you're not getting much engagement, then you need to go out there and find people on Facebook, on social media, who come into your network, who are aligned to what you're looking to achieve, the goals you're looking to achieve with whatever company you're promoting or whatever. So ultimately, you may not get the same engagement as someone else posting exactly the same content. I do want to say that to you. Now, I want to ask you another question. Can you just put a yes in the chat if you're using Facebook right now, with where your Facebook profile, your personal profile, you've basically upgraded it using the professional option. So if you're using the pro version of Facebook, where you see insights, you can see I've put in the box there, it shows insights. You won't see that if you're just on the kind of personal version of Facebook. So I just want to understand out of everybody on the call who is and who isn't. So probably only about, looking at that, maybe about a third of you. Um, so I want to show you why it's really, really important for you to basically press that pro button. Okay. It's really easy to do. I'm not going to show you here how to do that. Just go to Facebook or go to Google, and there'll be loads of places showing you, or YouTube. Effectively, it's one of your options where you can basically make it when you go pro. You will see insights, and I will show you here the reason why. So this is a post I put. I literally put a screenshot of this, where we had loads of people coming in, taking advantage of the free Botsii Bot that people can get access to, and loads of people activating it. So I just had tons of notifications coming through where people were taking advantage of that deal. But you can see there on that post, literally I had one person interact, one person comment. Okay, so zero engagement by most standards, practically. It's like crickets. Well, with the pro version of Facebook, if you're not using that right now, you don't get to see the stats, the statistics on how many people saw the post. But on the pro version, you do. So this is how many people saw that same post. Look at the number there, 427 views on that post. You wouldn't have thought that, would you? You would, I mean, just let me know in the chat. Put yes in the chat if you were surprised that a post that's only got one comment, one bit of engagement has had 400 odd views, right? So this is where being on the pro version is really, really important, particularly if you're starting out, right? Because you know, I'm not being funny. If you put a comp post out there and it literally gets crickets, it doesn't make you feel very good, does it? You feel like you're doing something wrong, unless you've got a particular thick skin, right? So the pro version is great for analytics, as exactly as Andy just said there. You get to understand your audience a lot better, what's working, and all that kind of stuff. And you get to see that even with something like this, you're actually getting eyeballs on it. Now that could be really important because whilst the attraction marketing bot is powerful for posting content online, you can also use that content if you're messaging people. And you also maybe messaging people, other stuff too, offers, about whatever companies you're promoting. So if you imagine, for example, you shared this free offer with somebody, having posted an image like I'm showing you here, if I message people who are my friends, it's likely that a lot of those people saw it, even if they didn't engage with it. Okay, so they've seen the post, they didn't engage with it. So when I messaged them, it's like, oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah, what's that about? So just be aware that when you do have the account here, you can see the analytics. It's useful if you're contacting those people as well via direct message. You know that that's something that people are interested in. Right, let's get now into the bot itself. Let's talk about what's going to be inside the Traction Marketing Bot. You better go live with this today on this call. It's very, very cool. So I'm going to go through a number of the sections that are inside the bot so you can understand some of the content that we've organized here. And we've used AI behind the scenes. In a lot of sense, we've used AI to add the polish, if you like, to the content or to customize the content rather than to create the content from scratch. Actually, the content has been written by real human beings, and it's been written by people who have had huge engagement on their social media across multiple channels over at least 10 years, I would say, that's gone into creating the kind of seed content to what I'm sharing with you here. But what we've done is we've tailored it and customized it to network marketing. And we've also tailored it and customized it to specific niches that people are promoting through Botsii right now. So that way, it's literally done for you content. And as you can see here, 365 days. Every single day, you could be able to access this content and share it online. You'll even be able to share content multiple times a day. That's how easy the attraction marketing bot will be. You're literally not constrained by just posting once a day. You can post as much as you like, and it's that easy. And there is that much different types of content. You may even want to promote or easily promote multiple times a day because you'll have everything at your fingertips. All the screenshots I'm showing here are basically look the same on your phone or on a computer. So it's very, very user friendly. So first up, 365 days worth of content. Literally every single day, we've got different content that you can access. And what it does when you click on like View Daily Post is you're not all getting the same content, and you're only getting one piece of content. And yes, you can access this. You'll access this through Facebook Messenger, but you can certainly share this across multiple social media platforms. So if you prospect on LinkedIn, then you can use this on that. If you like to create reels and do this stuff on TikTok or Instagram, or even on YouTube Shorts, yes, you could repurpose a lot of this content to create reels really easily. So it doesn't just have to be text. But a lot of the content, most of the content inside the bot is text. because it's the words that creates the power, if you like. So 365 days of content. We also have other content that's more topical. So this is particularly zoning on, events and dates and things like that that are going on. That obviously throughout the year, multiple times a month, there's different things happening that's topical. And the content often relates to that as well. But it might be more kind of loosely relating to that. So, for example, January, a lot of people are kind of looking at what their goals are and what their plans are for this year. So a lot of the content relates to things like that. So it's always topical content, and that's good because if you're posting topical content, it's stuff that other people are thinking about. It's like there's stuff that other people can easily engage with. So if you had a post that said, what's your holiday plans this year? Well, lots of people do plan their holidays, in the winter months or in the beginning of the year, for what they're planning to do for the rest of the year. So that's topical content. Then we have niche specific content. So this is where you can attract your target market with content that's more specific to them, and literally attract people where that resonates with them. And you obviously, if you look in the Botsii marketplace, we have a number of different niches. So I'll literally just very quickly dive over there, and you go to the marketplace. So when I talk about niches, I'm talking about uh, these are all niches here. So we literally have it tailored to each of the different niches we have. So health and wellness, and digital marketing, shopping, travel, etc., energy. So this is what I mean by niches. The content, yes, you can change. At the end of the day, we're giving you the content, and then you can then either post it exactly as it comes in if you're happy with that, but then you can then change it as well. Ultimately, put your own flavor around it, put your own story around it, put your own stamp on it, so it's more around your brand. So the content itself, yes, you could literally just copy and paste, but you're better, although it's not necessary, you're better putting your own spin on it, shall we say, where it's got more of your personality around it. But you could just copy and paste it for sure, because the content itself has been proven to get decent engagement in its own right. So with the niches, if I understand that correctly, Gay, your question, niches, do you need to use them? No, I mean, at the end of the day, there's multiple niches here, which I'll show you in a second. You're just focused on the ones that are relevant to whatever product you're promoting. So you might only use one niche in the whole bot if you're only promoting one product. So if you're promoting like a travel product, then you might only refer to that. You might not be bothered about the others. But we give you access to all of them, and then you can just drop into whichever ones you want. Stories as well. Everybody likes stories. We're all hardwired, as the human beings to like stories. From a young age, we probably grew up with, parents, grandparents, and reading stories to us as a young kid. So when you tell stories, people like to listen to them. So it's always good to basically have stories that people can tap into. So we have created stories, or the seeds to stories, that you can share and then add your own voice to. And that's where things like ChatGPT certainly could be really good, because particularly if you've got like a pro account with ChatGPT, because you can create your own like avatar there, and then that ChatGPT starts to understand more about you and who you are and what you're about and all that kind of stuff. But the stories here is something that it will just act as the seed for you to connect with your audience at a kind of deeper level. And so let's just take you through some of the niches. So we've got health and wellness, digital marketing, gold and precious metal, legal services, education and personal development, shopping rewards, blockchain and crypto projects, travel and hospitality, and then finally trading and forex platforms. So let's go in and I'll show you the traction marketing bot. It's not this. So in fact, what's I'm going to do here? Let me share another screen with you, because I don't want to go into the bot right now from the beginning. I am going to show you that on this call. But if I do that now, I know you'll all be looking at it, and and then that will detract from the rest of this session. So I'm going to go into the Traction Marketing Bot now on another browser, but I'll also be going in to it from the beginning on this call and showing you how all of you can activate it as well. Um, let's have a look. Gay, I'll come to that question later if that's okay, but I've noted it. Thank you. So let me share my screen again, and and then I can I'm going to share a different screen this time. Give me 2 seconds. Right, 1 second. I'm just going to share my other screen. Okay, so just let me know again in the chat that you can see my screen again. You should see the word brand in the middle. Excellent. Okay, that's great. Thank you. So this is basically the main menu to the Traction Marketing Bot. So once you subscribe to it, you get a daily message through, and then from there, you can then navigate through to what you want to see. So essentially, these are all the items in the main menu. There's a few that we haven't gone live with yet, so I'm going to focus on this one first. So we want to be able to create company-specific content. This is where I'll work with individual leaders, in particular the master distributors who I've worked with already closely to actually set up the bot to get it into the marketplace. But also, it's not exclusively with you; it's also with other people in your team. I will prioritize working with those teams that are active, obviously, where we can have the biggest impact. But the whole idea behind this is whilst this bot, the attraction marketing bot, is all about putting content out there that's going to attract more people to engage with you and to want to talk about your products and services. So that content is more about engagement. Well, we also want to put some company specific content into the bot that's very much more direct, if you like. I wouldn't say direct selling, but it's where you're putting content out there that's specifically looking to attract people into your exact product or your exact service. So the rest of the content in the bot is very much there to attract people into your network as a whole. So let's give you an example. If you imagine your product, the company you're part of is a travel company, well then you might be putting content out there that's about travel and about the lifestyle that has and destinations and the types of travel that people enjoy. Do you like a beach holiday or a city break? All that kind of stuff. So that's the more general stuff. But then we would then add content into here that's specific to your travel company. So this is where effectively the process for this would be you'd come into this and you would put in you'd effectively put in the activation code for the company that you're part of, and then it would then bring in specific content. So I'd work with leaders out there that are already part of that company to effectively to create content that we can then share with the whole of your network. So that it makes it really easy for everyone in your network to be promoting the company actively. So that's not live right now because I need to start this ball rolling and develop that. But ultimately, if you're on this call or you're catching this replay, reach out and let me know if you're interested in developing this with me. All it does is involve pulling together some content that is specific to your company that we can share with your wider network. Next one here, videos. So we're pulling together stuff on that. That's not live yet, but ultimately we want you to be in a position where you can download and share videos, things like reels and stuff like that, that you can use to get more engagement. Images, the same as well. But technically, it's more challenging to bring this in here. So we're focusing more on the kind of the written word at the minute, but that's coming too. So stories, I'm going to show you that. Let's just show you an example of this. I'll hit create a story so you can see this. So this is loading it all up. I'll let it load up and then I kind of explain what it's doing so you can understand um, what you're seeing on the screen here. It's basically right now coming up with a bunch of different examples. Um, and to scroll up. So essentially, this is about creating stories. It's about helping you create either viral videos or basically give you caption hooks that helps increase engagement. So you could literally, record a video using this kind of content where you might just get your phone out and talk to the camera, or you might just, have some stock footage and overlay content on it. But what you have here is effectively like a framework. So this is all about helping create intrigue and kind of interest and fascination within your network. So it's like day X of sharing blank until I'm famous or until people buy my and then whatever. So what you do is this is all about filling in the blanks according to what it is you're promoting and who you're wanting to attract. So for example, day 41 of sharing my team wins until people stop calling it a pyramid scheme, right? We've all been there in network marketing. People call it a pyramid scheme. Another example, day 41, and obviously day 41 doesn't have to be day 41. You can change all this stuff. It's an example. So day 41 is sharing my product transformation until someone asks for more info. So this is where you're consistently sharing about your product, and then people eventually ask for more. Day 41 of showing how my business helps families build freedom. Okay, so maybe you've got that kind of product. Okay, this is giving you lots of examples that makes it easy for you to adapt and just make it your own by tweaking it. So day 41 of posting proof that residual income is real, one commission at a time. Okay, there's plenty of products out there where people don't believe you can make money from it. Whether it be network marketing or it could be a trading company, it could be a forex business, could be something in the blockchain or cryptocurrency space. So posting actual results consistently is a way in which people ultimately buy into it and get confidence. And then the last one here, day 41 of sharing what my mentor taught me until my team is crushing their goals, right? So these are all examples, but they're all using exactly the same framework. So you could pick one of these up and adapt it, or literally you could just fill in the blanks and post your own. Okay, so this is just giving you one example. Then on that, we add call to actions. So with call to actions, this is where if you're posting something, you might ask people to comment, you might ask people to share or save or follow, or you might actually be going for the sale. So for example, if you're posting something showing you your commissions and the money you're making, well, you might actually be saying, if you want to get results like this, DM me. And so you're literally posting there to go for the sale. So if I click on that, it's going to come up with effectively something that you can use as a call to action. So here it's saying, if you're curious about how we can work together, click on the link in my bio, or you might say DM me or comment below. So that's just making it easy for you to plug a call to action according to whatever else is you put up here. And you've not really had to think too much about it. So that's stories, about you sharing your stories, about you sharing things about what you're doing. Now, I found sometimes when I look at these things, sometimes I find them challenging as well, as in it forces me to think, oh, if I'm not doing that, maybe I should be. So when I said at the beginning, it's about qualitative, some of this stuff here will actually challenge you or challenge your team in terms of raising the bar around how they approach showing up every day, right? We all have bad days when we don't show up, and some people show up more than others. So you'll find that some of this content is actually, it's almost like holding people to account and challenging them as to what they are doing as part of showing up in their network marketing business. So let's go back to the main menu, show you some other examples. So let's show you the niches. So let's just dive into that. I'll give you one or two examples there. So health and wellness, let's just take that one for example. Click on that and I'll show you another one in a second. So that's just loading up that content. So this will all be tailored around the health niche. So, and there's different types of content in here. So this one is what's called a conversation starter. So it's discussing engaging topics beyond just MLM. Okay. So here's the prompt. Would you commit to, and then you fill in the blanks. So you can tailor that towards whatever health and wellness niche you might be in or product you might be in. And so this is just giving you an example. Would you commit to drinking more water every day? So you might be asking people the question, who would commit to drinking more water every day? Drinking less alcohol, for example, every day, or no alcohol, whatever, right? So you can tailor this, but it's giving you the kind of ideas and prompts, so you can use that to start conversations with people. So that's kind of the goal for that one. If I just scroll up, I can obviously click here to go back to the main menu, but just so you know, you can just scroll up. So I could, for example, click on select niche again, and it will almost certainly give me another one. It won't give me the same one. It will actually give me another one that I could look at. So if I wanted to, kind of choose something different, then it will give me another random one to choose from. So here we are. So what do you think the number one thing that holds people back from hitting their income goals in their business? So if we're looking at this in the context, bearing in mind of health and wellness, it's saying, what do you think is the number one thing that holds people back from sticking to their fitness goals? Is it time, mindset, or something else? Right? So literally, you could be posting that just like that on your social media because the goal is to start a conversation, is to have people commenting. What do they think it is? Is it fitness? Is it time, money, mindset, or something else? It starts a conversation. Okay. Can you just put like a yes in the chat if you can see how you can be using this type of content in order to increase your engagement, right? Getting out of bed. You could be doing this, get out of bed, absolutely. Yes, 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 indeed. Okay, lots of yeses, right? I really want to, wow, there's a whole screen of yeses, brilliant. Um, I really want it for you guys to all see how powerful this can be. I know this is powerful. When I've used this sort of stuff in the past, I've had to rein myself back in because if I'm not careful, it becomes a distraction from the core stuff I'm doing inside Botsii. But if you guys are like wanting to show up every single day, multiple times a day as a network marketer and attract more and more of the right type of people into your network, I'm convinced that this will just help you blow up your network and help you strengthen your network over time, where you'll bring more and more people into your network that resonates with your goals, and you'll have people in your network who are engaging really positively with your content. Because literally, you could just take that, if you did nothing else with it, just copy and paste, done. And then later in the day, you might go, you know what? I'm going to post something else. So you come back to the main menu. But let me scroll up again so you can see how easy this is. I'm just going to come up here and show you another one. So let's just pick something completely different. So we had health. Let's just take trading. Yeah, trading and forex. So completely different. So click on that now. Notice this is just a point of navigation. When you click on that, you see this little arrow appear. So don't press, press, press. It's not going to appear here. You've got to scroll down. So it's basically drops underneath everything else. So it's loading that content up. Now specific to trading and forex platforms. So here it's basically saying opinions, share unique takes on others' views. So here's the prompt. What is your opinion on masterminds? Do you have one? Do you recommend people have one? So now it's going to adapt that. That's like the broad question. But now it's going to adapt that to the trading and forex niche. So it's going to ask a much more specific question. So what's your opinion on trading masterminds? Are they helpful for improving strategies, right? Uh, having been a trader and understood technical analysis and charts and all that kind of stuff, I would say absolutely yes, because if you're part of a mastermind where you've got somebody in that who is an expert and they're sharing what they're doing in a nice private group setting, then absolutely that'll be very helpful in improving strategies. Well, you're going to find people come out of the woodwork who are going to say the same thing. right? You might even have people come out of the woodwork that says yes, they've had a really bad experience from masterminds. Because if you trust the wrong person and you lose all your money, well, that's you're not going to be saying it's going to improve anything, right? So you might have find a whole mix of people's experiences coming out there. But if you're promoting a platform where you can prove the results, you can prove that there's very good risk management, and you can prove that there's a track record, the people that had a negative experience, you're now going to start a very different conversation with that person, aren't you? Where they've shared that. But you're not selling to them here. This is the key thing. You're not selling. You're literally looking to create engagement with people where that topic is something that they feel they can contribute to. And again, it's deliberately asking the questions in a particular way. So look, that's the niche side. I mean, there's all of these ones here you can come into, and you can see there's such a broad range of niches that we are covering here. This is really, really, really powerful. And it's great, by the way, too, if you're promoting a couple of different companies in different niches, because it kind of means you don't need to think about it. You can get back in the zone really, really easily. So I'm going to go back to the attraction marketing bot main menu. And so let's just go back through here. So I've done niches. Let's go back to the topical. Let's look at this one. This one is kind of interesting because sometimes it's absolutely on the money. Sometimes it's kind of a little bit more in the zone. Um, so at the end of the day, it kind of varies on this, but ultimately it's giving a different slant on it. So here it's saying. Let's share some topical posts, including things happen this week. So here it's saying share a unique benefit your avatar will have if they choose to hire you. So that's kind of maybe a bit, I don't know where you put that. It's maybe a bit quirky. Let's go back and just ask another one, just to get a few other kind of ideas of this. So talk about your customer problems and what they can versus cannot control. Okay, so yeah, that's a good one. It's not necessarily topical per se, and it can't be all the time, right? At the end of the day, there's sometimes just not stuff really going on in terms of kind of events, and it's not plugging into like live news feeds and stuff like that. Okay, just so you understand. So it's more picking around kind of calendar events and stuff like that, and themes throughout the year. So that's just another example it's giving you. So let's just dive back up here. And so I've done those. Let's look at the 365 days. So this is literally giving 365 days of different content every single day, different content. And it's literally covering here, it's covering here different themes. So it's kind of actually listed these out so you can kind of understand what they're about. So conversation starters, where it's talking about different topics outside of MLM. Habits, so what kind of routines people look at. They're called fairy tales, but it's like stories that help kind of captivate and sell. Even you got things like TED Talks fed into this. So there are some really good TED Talks out there where we actually share with you the link and a kind of base topic of conversation to discuss around that. Because there's some quite cool TED Talks that you can refer to. Things like live prompts, so if you like to create videos on Facebook or Instagram, YouTube gives you those kind of prompts as well for doing sort of lives. Metaphors, where you can kind of give examples and kind of use kind of more imagery around different things. Giving opinions on stuff going on. Headlines, which could be just starting conversations with people. Social proof, looking at your results that you're getting with what you're doing in your network, and then video ideas, kind of key content. And those are often video ideas of things that you should have on your bio, or you should have on your profile, so people can find out kind of key stuff about you. So things like that come up too. So let's look at this. So this one here is fairy tales, right? Craft stories that captivate and sell. Now what you get here is, so it's saying here's the prompt. Find a brand you love, dig out their story, tell the story, and then draw lessons from it for your ideal clients. Okay, so here's an example just using Apple. Apple's rise from garage to global dominance. So many lessons for entrepreneurs. What's your biggest takeaway? So this is where you can share a little bit of your thoughts around that and get other people sharing as well, their thoughts. And Apple's one of those brands as well. People either love it or hate it. So you could find a whole mix. People might say it's overpriced and controlling. Other people might say it's amazing and user friendly and easy and fantastic, and they love having every device as an Apple device. So you're going to get both responses on that. So that's kind of the content there. Let's just go back and choose another one and see what that looks like. So I click on View Daily Post. It's just going to load another one up. So you don't have to be tied by that, and you could post multiple times a day, and you can see loads of different things. So here, headlines, right, catchy, curiosity driven, starters. Here's the prompt. I've just learned a habit that will improve your blank without ending up blank. So if you remember, this is where it's creating like a content framework and you can fill in the blanks. So it's given an example here. Again, if you use things like ChatGPT and you've created like an avatar about yourself, you could easily just plug this stuff into there, and it's gonna basically combine this with your avatar and then come up with it's going to fill in the blanks for you. So those people that have pro accounts with ChatGPT literally copy and paste, and you've got tons more content you could use. You could even use that to write blog posts. You could use it for write long form posts on your social media. You could use that to create video scripts, tons of different things, right? Or you can just post it almost as it is. So I just learned a habit that will improve your focus without end up overwhelmed by tasks, right? You haven't said what it is, okay? So that's what's creating curiosity. People might go, well, what is their habit, right? That will help improve your focus without ending up overwhelmed by tasks. Well, this isn't deliberate, but Botsii can help do that because you're just going to get a daily message through. So if there's ever a way where you don't want to be overwhelmed, just get your daily message, post it, and move on with your day and let people engage, right? And then that gives a conversation starter to talk about Botsii if you wanted to, and then obviously how you're using Botsii to promote your network marketing business. Just an example, but at the end of the day, it could be you could tie that also into your product. If you're in a I don't know weight loss product, then you might be having a habit there. If you're in a trading and forex platform, you might be doing something every single day as a habit that basically means you're not getting overwhelmed by tasks. You can adapt that to anything you're doing really, which is what's quite cool. Remember you've got these call to actions. So click on that. Show you another example there. So let's say, for example, yeah, so let's say you shared here with this some hints and tips. So you actually expanded upon what your habit was. You might say to people, share this if you found this useful, you know. So the call to action on things like this tend to be something that is raising a smile, I would say. It's not boring. So here it's saying, share if you're fabulous. If not, well, keep scrolling, right? So, often people will just share because it just gives them a little smile. So, the content here is designed for engagement and for action. That's 365 days. The brand stuff, I'm just going to dive into here. I haven't got this live at the minute because I actually want to do a separate session on the brand side of things. So we're going to turn this on very soon, but I'm actually going to organize live training on this because this is all about it's going through an exercise which you then put answers into the bot. So everything else up until now, the bot's just giving you information. With the brand one, it actually asks you specific questions and then creates a whole content framework around that. That means that you stay on point with what your kind of brand statement is around. So if you're out there, I don't know, let's say you're in the health niche and your whole brand is around being fit and healthy and 10 years younger and losing weight and blah blah blah, then you'll be able to put that kind of information into the bot, and it will then be giving you content frameworks, content you can put out there that's all around that brand. Let's say your brand is all about travel and lifestyle and freedom, and because that's the product you're promoting, then at the end of the day, you'll put that into the bot, and then the bot will keep you on point with that brand message. It's a bit like if you were a stick of rock and someone cut you in half, they would see that brand message running right the way through you. Okay, so we'll have a separate session on this, but it's kind of quite a cool content framework that we've plugged into the bot here. Um, but that'll be available once you put that information in. The messages you'll get will all be basically combining your brand message with this content framework. So it'll be quite cool for you to work from that. Cool, excellent. Right, look, that's giving you a really good overview, and perhaps more of an overview of how the attraction marketing bot works. Um, Appreciate a few of you got to jump off, got other appointments, no worries. We will catch up separately on that. I know you guys have joined from Australia as well at this time, so thanks, Rowan and Angie. Cool. Like, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to the other profile that I was showing you a minute ago and show you how you actually can activate or subscribe to the attraction marketing bot. So let me just organize my things there. Who's excited? Who's ready to get started with this? Put a yes in the chat if you're ready to get started with this. If you want to literally get started with this right now, give me a yes. That'd be great. And I can see who's fired up. So I'm sharing my screen. Just getting my screen up. Screen. Be there in a moment. Let's have a look at. You should be able to see my screen. Yes, I can see loads and loads of yeses. Good. You're all fired up. Brilliant. Excellent. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to go through to this profile for Botsii. And I will basically put in a keyword. Bear with me, two ticks. If you've got any questions, by the way, let's have a look at those questions at this point whilst I'm just looking at what I'm doing. If you've got any questions, by all means, put it into the chat. And we'll go through them. Guy, we can have a separate conversation. I'm not sure what you're wanting to look at and whether you've got the bot up and running and live at the minute. So just let us know in the chat if you've already got the Botsii Bot, Guy. That will help me because then I can understand where you're at. But I'm happy to take that offline as well. Right. Let me just get my prompt going. So what I'm going to do, so are you, so let's look at some questions. So just put some other questions in. I know there's some questions at the top of Garo. I'll look at that as well before I go into this live. So just bear with me a second whilst I'm doing this. Yeah, so I've got a question here. Do we randomly choose what we choose from the main menu in the attraction marketing bot? Yes, that's exactly right. You can come in and choose exactly what you want to access, what content you want to share. Literally, you're kind of in control of that. So you'll get a daily message through, and from that, you'll then come through to that attraction marketing bot main menu. You can then scroll left and right and look at what content you want to share. There's obviously different types of content, some niche specific, some have other focus. So you could share different things throughout the day, or you could choose just one topic each day. It's literally entirely up to you. You literally can choose what resonates with you the most, what you find easiest to produce, etc. At the end of the day, most of it's pretty easy to produce. You can actually kind of copy and paste most of this stuff. Um, let's have a look at other questions here. Yeah, so there was a question here about getting the activation code. That's very much relating to the Botsii bot. So if you go to the marketplace, you can get an activation code for a company here. So you should see like if you see your company here, then you can literally pick up any one of these activation codes and activate that bot. What you need to do though is buy the bot from whoever has introduced you into Botsy. So I wouldn't say come to the marketplace to buy the bot. Go from whoever's introduced you into Botsy and buy the bot from them. And then you can come to the marketplace just to grab the activation code. You don't need your upline in Botsy in order to be able to take advantage of one of our bots. At the end of the day, this is all done for you and managed for you. Right, let's go back to here. So I'm going to put in a keyword here that's going to start the process. And if you want to write this down, this keyword, it's actually two words together. It's setup ABM. Setup ABM. So if you write that down, you can go through this live whilst I'm going through this now if you want to. It is live. And literally it's going to go through the steps I've got here. So it's going to say, click continue to set up your attraction marketing bot. And what it's going to do is going to ask you to validate your email address. So it's going to ask you to put your email address in that's associated with your account. So I'm just going to put in an email address here. So you see that's loaded up here. Effectively, I put that in. It's validated my purchase, so it knows I bought the bot. Um, and then effectively I'm ready to proceed. And so, Gail, what I'll do happily do is I'll stay on at the end of the call after the call's finished, and I go through one-on-one with you to answer your questions and point you in the right direction. So just stay on at the end of the call, and I'll help you with that. Okay, so just coming back here to my chat. So effectively, it's validated my purchase, so I can literally hit start now. If there was a problem there, then it will essentially ask you to check your email, and if you still have a problem, obviously you can email support. So here, this question is really important because the time this gets sent out is actually we need to know when to send it out according to where you are in the world. So it's really, really important that you look at what time zone block that you're in and you select the appropriate region. And they are in blocks. So region one is from sort of Greenwich time or UK time to plus 3 hours, and then plus 3:30 to 6:30, plus 7 to 9, plus 9:30 to 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And then you've got the other way with minus hours. So you should fall into one of these seven regions. You then select the region across the bottom. If you're on a phone, you'll need to scroll right and left on that in order to select your region. This is really important because we want to send you the message through in the morning. So when you kind of wake up, you've got the message. It's not about, Karen, it's not about where you're targeting, it's where you're based. So it's where you live in the world. So if you live in the Northern Hemisphere in London, then you're going to choose region one. If you live in Australia, you're going to choose region four, for example. You know, if you're living in Thailand, in that part of the world, you're going to choose region three. If you're living in the US, you're going to choose region six. So it purely comes down to what part of the world you're in order for the bot to message you in the morning with, so that when you wake up to the message, basically. So it's always in your inbox when you get up in the morning. Then, having selected the region, it's literally going to ask you to say get updates. So effectively, you're going to press this message here, and that's going to then subscribe you to the attraction marketing bot and mean that you'll get those updates through from the system. So you can see it's kind of saying that you've chosen to receive those, and And basically, that's what will send you through those daily messages and mean you can access the attraction marketing bot. So I can see Marky said he has done that. It looks like I can see other people have done that. Karen, you've done that. Torisoki, you've done that. Excellent. So literally, once you do that, you're going to then start getting those daily messages through and you'll start accessing the attraction marketing bot every morning. Question for you. Um, for those people that have done it, did you get another message come through, or is it as you see here? Do you get a further message come through? I'm conscious I'm on a test profile here. You've seen it as you see it, that's fine. Um, so Karen, yeah, you got a further message. Okay, great. You should get a further message through, but if you don't, you'll definitely get a message the following morning. So literally, whenever you wake up, you'll find a message which will basically look like this, that will come through with showing you a daily message. And then from that, essentially, it will access your attraction. You can access the main menu basically. So I can see other people doing that as well. So just to say again, in terms of what you do, you literally would type in the word setup attract AMB into Messenger, into the Botsii page. So I'll put that into the chat. If you put that in, it basically starts the process. Cool, excellent. Well, look, um, there's obviously more that's going to come out about this. We've just gone live with this just now. This is literally just the beginning. Um, and at the end of the day, literally, this is just going live with it. This is just getting the system live. This is all about consistency, posting consistently on your social media. You don't just have to obviously post on your profile. If you're on Facebook, you can post that really anywhere on Facebook, inside Facebook groups and all that kind of stuff. But you can also do it outside of Facebook as well. And you can use this stuff as prompts for reels, and for you doing videos like to camera and stuff like that. So you can use this to mix this up so you're just creating more content more easily that is resonating with your audience, that's consistent with the message that you're putting out there, that's doing it in a way where the the structure of that content is designed to be engaging, designed to start conversations, provoke reactions, to ultimately create a bigger ripple effect on your social media. Let's have a quick look at some of the questions that's come in. Um, so, bum, bum, bum. Yeah, so there's a question here about Facebook. Is it best to use the personal page for this, or a business Facebook page? Now, this is designed more for your personal page. Yes, you could put it on a business page, but just bearing in mind the engagement on business pages will be nothing like the level of engagement you'll get on your own personal page. So, the way I would approach this is more doing it on your personal page, and then ultimately looking to find people on Facebook who are in your target niche. So if you're in the travel niche, you might find people who are network marketers that like to travel, right? They may not be in any network marketing travel company, but you want to go and find people that are in that niche. If you're looking at the cryptocurrency space with blockchain, you go and find people that are into blockchain projects, into buying into crypto around the world. So you bring those people into your network where they either follow you or they're friends with you. Then when you're putting content out there consistently every single day using the attraction marketing bot, then those people are more likely to be interacting and engaging with your content. Um, it's probably an overused term, but it's very valid. I'm sure you've all heard of the expression know, like, and trust when it comes to social media. Okay. So people know you, like you, and trust you, they'll buy from you. So at the end of the day, how do they get to know you? Well, they get to know you because you're posting content out there online consistently. And if you're posting engaging content, they're more likely to like you because it's resonating with you. And if you're posting stuff that is, if you like, has authority around it, because it kind of set you sound like you know what you're doing, then they're a lot more likely to trust you. So having content like this is really important and powerful. So I've got a question here. So where do I put the messages set up? So sorry, what's that question, Sarah? Um, Blah, blah, blah. Are you asking where to put it? Okay, so yes, let's just wind back a couple of steps. So in order to subscribe to the bot, you need to go to Botsii on your uh, on your messenger, and then the content that you're getting, you can then post online. So let me just show and share some examples of that so you can see what I'm talking about. So just bear with me a second. I'll go to Facebook as well. I'm going to share my screen again. So let me know whether when you can hear my sorry here when you can see my screen. I mean that's come up on the screen. Okay, I'll give you some examples to how you use this content, and that's great. Thanks. So you've got content that you're accessing here like this. So let's just scroll up and show something here. So let's pick up this, right? I'm just going to pick that up, copy and paste. I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to go to what's on my mind. I'm literally going to paste that in there. Um, because that's just text, there's not much else there. I'm going to actually put it into a background. So it's a bit more interesting. And effectively, that's it. That might be all you do. So literally, I just learned a habit that improve your focus without not being overwhelmed by tasks. People might say, well, what is it then? What is the habit? What have you done? And that creates content or interest, right? Um, there's obviously other ways you can do that. So, it might be a case of uploading a video, for example, and then putting that on there. So, let's try and give you an example of that to show you kind of what I mean. Um, so let's just randomly choose something. It's not going to be a very, very good example, but I'm going to try and give you an example. Um, it's easy to do for my phone when I've got some good content. But effectively, this is where you could upload that as a reel, and then you can then add the text across the reel and put that same kind of thing out there. Um, so let's have a look at the chat as well. So in terms of where to go, so let me put a link into the chat for how you'd get to the Botsii page. Um, that link I put in the chat there, which is m.me/launch Botsii. If you click on that, that should go to Botsii, and and you can then from there message the page. If not, the other way you can do it is to go to Facebook. So I'm just going to go to facebook.com/launch Botsii, and that will go to the same place, but on Facebook. So there we are. So if you go to there, then you can click message and message the page that way. So the first link that I've clicked on goes to the Botsii page. But if you've not, it depends on your browser, um, then you may not find it goes there. So you're better off going to facebook.com and then /launch Botsii. And then from there, you can then go and message the page from there. So, and then from here, you can see it comes up quite small. If you click on the small arrow, the arrow down, you can then go open in Messenger, and um, it's then going to open up Messenger inside Facebook. So although this is looking like Messenger.com, it's actually inside Facebook. But now both of those kind of look virtually the same. So that should be going to the right place. If you're having trouble, anybody on the call or watching the replay, just email us at support@botsii.com and I'll basically get back to you with specifics of what you need to do. Cool. Okay, so I can see some questions coming in there to the chat that are kind of more private, where you want to have a bit of a follow up. I'm happy to stay on the call and have some follow up discussions there. Or if you want to message me directly, then you can do that. I'll put into the chat um, my direct message URL. So you can actually message me via that link there, and just reference this call, so I know that you're not spam basically, because it will go into the other folder if we're not friends. So if you want to just have that one-on-one conversation, then do that, and I can make sure you're pointed in the right direction in terms of how you can get started, because I can see like for example who introduced you through our system, etc. Um, So that would be great. Okay, that's cool. Thanks, Natalie. Excellent. Let's just look at the questions. There's other questions here. Um, so, Tatiana, your question: when people are curious and ask what you do you share in the post comments or rather go to DM? So, I would go to DM. So, particularly if I'm talking about what it depends actually. If actually I'm looking to sell and share my link, then I will do that via DM, because I don't want to share that in the comments, because effectively it just shuts down engagement. I'd only do that if I've got a post that's just gone bananas and I don't need any more engagement. But if somebody's curious and asks that question and I'm not selling, I would have that conversation in the comments of the post. So I'd literally just have an open conversation that other people can read in the post, because one, that's creating tons more engagement on the post, but also other people will read your comments, and some of those people won't know you, and so they'll read your comments. The amount of people that read and don't interact is insane on social media. So there'll be people there that will read your comments and go, oh, okay, that person like is real and seems nice and isn't a scam artist and knows their stuff. So they'll read all your comments publicly. So in that scenario, I'd happily have that open conversation with other people able to read it. But if it's literally moving to sales, I'd take it straight to DM. Yeah, thanks, Tatiana. That makes sense. Excellent. Um, awesome. So look, if there's any more questions, please put them into the chat, and I'll happily stay on. Um, so yeah, I'll happily stay on and answer those questions. Absolutely. When it comes to going to the bot is simply in Messenger, okay? And it's simply talking to the Facebook page Botsy. So you can go to the page directly um, and talk to Botsy, or you can go to Messenger and talk it. But if you haven't spoken to Botsy or Messenger, you almost certainly need to go to Facebook to find Botsy, and you'll see it comes up like this, and you can then click on the page. If you click on the page, we don't use the page loads, to be honest. We do it for some stuff, but literally, if you look here, you can see our earliest. pictures or bits go back to 2020. So um, we literally used the page in the first when we first started setting up purely to connect the chatbot to the chatbot system. We weren't actually really bothered about using the page for promoting Botsii per se, and we're still not that bothered about it. We generate most of our sales outside of the page. Just going back to the chat, look at there. Um, yeah, so when you go through the setup, as long as you've got to the point where the bot has said you've subscribed, that's all that matters. So I'll go back up to the top here. Where are we? Yeah. So as long as you've got to the point where you've put in your time zone and you've hit get updates or get messages, and it says you've chosen to receive message on this topic, attraction marketing bot. As long as you've got there, then that's done. Um, it should send you through this message saying day one loading, which I think some people got, saying congratulations on taking action. Let's get started with day one now. Um, basically, it lets you do your first post. It doesn't look exactly like that, but basically it'll go into your first post. Some people, I think, definitely got that, but other ones may not. It may come down to what time of day it is where you are, but definitely next morning, within 24 hours, you'll have your first message through. Just looking through the chat again. Yeah, well, look, sorry if you're having trouble like that. Let's we can jump on a call afterwards, and we can go through that. Just send me a message via Facebook, and we can catch up before I finish today, and I'll make sure you get set up. Cool. All right. Look, I'm conscious of the time, guys, and I think kind of other conversations I can need to have here. I need to have them kind of more one-on-one. Um, so Gaia, if you want to stay on at the end, I'll speak with you kind of one-on-one, and then anyone else that's having trouble getting set up, can you drop me a message after the call and via Messenger, by Facebook Messenger. If you're struggling with that, send me an email to support@botsii.com with your details, and we can literally jump on a call, even if it's like 5-10 minutes. So let me stop the recording, and we can wrap up then.